Hello, Biomedical Innovation students. This is Mr. McFall again, and I'm just going to go through kind of the plan for Friday and what I'd like you to accomplish. Once again, we want to keep moving through things. I know we're just kind of slowing it down a little bit, but we want to keep moving. I think most of you have a pretty good grasp on connecting with things. So once again, the Zoom meeting will happen during first period and during fourth period tomorrow. Zoom in during either one of those if you have the freedom to do so, but plan on zooming in during your class period time. That's going to be the best way to handle that. So if you can zoom in, that's the best way of handling it. If not, this is a video you can go back and watch. I plan on recording the Zoom conversations too, so you can go back and look at those as well. But this is kind of the to-the-point explanation of what you need for this for this lesson. So for November 13th, you'll find details about this in Canvas, and those will be uploaded in there. This video will be uploaded in there. And so that's basically all that you'll see in there unless I have certain special considerations they have to do. So the video will explain everywhere you need to go, everywhere you need to click. And so if you look at the video, you should have an understanding of that. For this assignment, we're not turning in anything just yet. There will be, I'll be collecting assignments kind of in bulk as like multiple things in one file to kind of make that go a little bit smoother. So there may be fewer grades, but each grade will have more things in it. Or I will take multiple grades over one thing. So you'll kind of turn a chunk of that workbook in. Once again, the emergency medicine student workbook is right here under problem 1. I know you're looking at my view of things, so I look a little bit different. So let me show you the student view. Once again, Zoom meeting information is right up here. November 13th will be down open tomorrow. If you've been absent or quarantined, you can ignore this module from now on. I'll probably take that off there soon. So emergency medical notes, case 1, you're going to be using this to do some studying, but here's that workbook that we've been working on. And yesterday, I asked you to read this article. So if you haven't done that yet, it's something you can be doing over the weekend. Try to get caught up on all this over the weekend if you haven't. So read through how emergency rooms work. If you didn't read the Tina Williams case in 1.1.1 or Mission File 1 in courses, that's kind of a background thing. It's not necessary that you do that at this point, but you get an idea of how bad it could be if an emergency room doesn't work correctly. So hopefully we've gone through this and read it and answered and done the reflection on this. We'll probably talk about this a little bit in the Zoom tomorrow. It's Thursday. I'm filming this on Thursday. So for Friday, I want you to get familiar with the way that notes are taken on patients. And so if someone comes in with emergency, you got to get information fast. You got to be able to know exactly what's wrong with them in a short amount of time. So there's several acronyms, which are letters that stand for words, different words that make up a process. And so in this case, we're going to use a sample in the OPQRS2 methods. Okay, we'll also look at a few other methods that are helpful as well, and I'll break those down a little bit here. Right, so Wikipedia helps you out on some of these, so I'm going to show these. If you wanted to pause the video and look at them, then you can do that. And so here we go. So kind of looking at why this method is used, you do need to research that and cite your source with an in-text citation. You're going to be sick of hearing that with an in-text citation, me saying that over and over again, but that is very much a professional collegiate thing to get used to doing. So if you look here, we have sample. You're basically going to describe what each one means. If I look at sample, you can see that here. Signs, symptoms, allergies, medications, past pertinent medical history, last oral intake, sometimes also last menstrual cycle, and events leading up to present illness or injury. Then OPQRST relates more when there's concern for someone who might have a possible heart attack. And so, onset of the event, what was happening at the time, provocation or palliation, was there some sort of pressure or something made it, is there any way to kind of make the pain better or worse? Quality of the pain, describe, is it sharp or is it burning, crushing, those kinds of things. Region or radiation, severity, time. So that's what those stand for. So don't just put the one word, kind of give a little description also for those, okay? Then down below, it talks about these other abbreviations. So MOI is mechanism of injury. That one's pretty simple to look for. You can look that up on your own and kind of understand what that stands for. CUPS, CUPS, relates to the status of the patient. So think critical or unstable, potentially unstable, or stable. Okay, and then you have loss of consciousness. LOCs had loss of consciousness, so you describe if the patient is conscious or if they lost consciousness. Yeah, and another thing is finally is DCAP, BTLS. If you break that down, so you're looking for soft tissue injuries in this case: deformities, contusions, abrasions, penetrations, burn, tenderness, lacerations, and swelling. So those are the things that you're looking for in those. And if you don't, and you really kind of need to define some of those, some gross pictures that come up every now and then, but read through and understand like the difference between a contusion and an abrasion. Some of these are make a little bit more, I guess, innate for you to understand them, but some you may have to look up a little bit. Okay, so that gets you to the end of this. Then that gives you the outline of it. So then there's a sample practice that you're going to do where you're going to look at a case. And this is something we'll probably continue Monday. I'll take your questions on Monday that you have about this. So it's not, I would like you to try to do it today. See how far you can get. If you don't get everything Monday, we can kind of include this because then you're going to be looking at other samples of the case. Okay. So if I look here, chief complaint, cups, that's what we're looking at: critical, stable, and so on, age and sex, and then you see the rest of the information. Your vitals, other, and then the physical assessment. And that's where you get into you could essentially circle one of these if they have burns, lacerations, deformities, and things like that. Those are the things that you're looking for when someone physically assesses these conditions. So, what case are we going to look at? Well, there's this wonderful book called Emergency Medical Scenarios that I have downloaded, and in Canvas, I have uploaded a case. I've just pulled out one case. It's the very first case in the book. It's pretty straightforward. And so you'll click on that, and you'll see, hit this, sore throat in a 29-year-old male. All right, so you'll read through here, and I'm not going to give you too much information. And so here, this first page is just the overview. And for this one, I'm giving you the answer. Don't look too fast. All right. But this page is sort of the background information. So you may not have something for every blank here. You may not have something for every blank, right? You may not have something over here necessarily if there's but for an acute injury, you will have some things over here. It's not just for heart attacks, it's also for acute injuries. And here you're going to be looking at the different factors like we talked about of signs and symptoms, allergies, medications, as you know. Now, of course, sometimes people don't know these things, so you would have a blank in those cases. So you're filling out as much as you can. The more information you have, the better. All right, so that's kind of where I would like you to be by the time we get to Monday, is that you have understood, because we're getting into that point where we want to start looking at our emergency room and understand the emergency process. And so understanding how this history is taken helps you understand the process of emergency care a little bit more. So if you have these reflection questions over the article and notes over this method and attempt to analyze this first method, then you'd be in pretty good shape coming into Monday. So hopefully I'll see you on the Zoom call, or I have seen you on the Zoom call, depending upon when you're watching this video. And just make sure you reach out to me if you have any questions. And I hope you're doing well. Stay safe, and I will see you soon.